Hello and welcome to Whitman Day 2024. We're just getting started today here on Whitman Town Park, and I'm joined by Dawn Byers, one of the big volunteers of today's event. How you doing, Dawn?
I'm great. Thank you for being here to cover this fantastic day.
Absolutely, we do it every year. So, I understand this is the third annual Whitman Day, correct?
It is third annual, and I think we've had even a larger turnout with volunteers, clubs, organizations, businesses, all community groups here to share with everyone what they do and to get people involved.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Whitman Day is a fairly recent addition to the town of Whitman. What was the impetus to sort of start the event? Like what made it sort of transpire?
Oh, thank you. So in 2021, I joined the Cultural Council as a volunteer, and I had seen other towns, right, offering Hanover Day, Rockland Day, and so forth, and thought it would be a great opportunity. I also heard a lot about Winterfest, which I've, as a resident of Whitman, Winterfest was a long time running community event in December. It ran for, I think, 20 years. And a lot of people would say, bring Winterfest back, bring it back. And it was so well loved. When I joined the Cultural Council and heard about Hanover Day and other days in the summer, I thought, well, maybe this is a way not to replace Winterfest, but to add something in the summertime. And here we are. So I do want to thank the town Board of Selectmen, the town departments, all public safety and DPW for supporting this event all 3 years and getting the park ready and being here today. So it started, and it also started with the funding of a grant from the Mass Cultural Council. So Mass Cultural Council is funded by the state budget, and they support 351 towns with cultural events. So there was a grant that helped to fund this each year, $2,500. So we don't have a budget with the town. We've asked for donations this year, but the last 2 years after COVID, we just sort of self-funded with that grant, and away we go. Here we are.
That's awesome, and I'm getting that there's a lot of hands involved. There's a lot of planning, a lot of money that goes into this. From a volunteer perspective, what kind of work goes into putting this all together?
Oh, well, in the beginning, certainly getting interest from our community groups, from Cub Scouts, the PTOs at the schools, various businesses, and then there's social media presence, get volunteers involved, and yeah.
All right, yeah, it's really fantastic work that you guys put in. Oh, you got stickers.
Yes, we try to commemorate it with an annual sticker participants can get at our welcome tent, and this is sort of their little keepsake, so that's we do that every year. We have the welcome tent. We've had some businesses, rather than a monetary sponsorship, they'll give a gift certificate or whatnot. So we do have a free giveaway. We don't ask for money at this event. For these raffles, everyone gets one ticket, free entry. I'll give a shout out to our 5 gold sponsors. We did have McKinnon, we've got Duval's Pharmacy, Instabright, and we've got signs over there. So forgive me, I'm pausing on those sponsors, but it's been wonderful turnout.
All right, so we're just getting ready to begin. You want to give us a little preview of some of the events we have to look forward to today?
Certainly. So the Whitman-Hanson High School Band is playing, acoustic is playing now. At 11 a.m. we have the Corvairs live music. From 1 to 4 we have the DJ coming on. We've got food trucks. We've got a beer garden from 12 to 4. And I do want to shout out to the Cultural Council volunteers. There's co-chair Juliana Dunn and Adriana DeStefano, with also other appointed members. So hopefully you'll find them throughout the park and get some feedback from them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for taking the time to talk to us, Dawn. And here is Whitman Day 2024.
Good morning. Good morning, Whitman. Thank you for coming to Whitman Day 2024. Our third annual in the park. We want to thank the town of Whitman, the town departments for getting the park prepared and ready for us today. We invite you to visit the welcome tent, which is behind the stage. Get a sticker, which is commemorative 2024 for Whitman Day for all participants. There are free giveaways, so every participant gets one free ticket to enter into the giveaway raffle. And I will now introduce Miss Whitman, who will be singing our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner, and I'm also introducing Miss Whitman's team. So a round of applause to welcome Miss Whitman. Following the Star-Spangled Banner, she will lead the puppy parade along with our volunteer children around the park. So I invite you to follow the puppy parade around the park and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, over the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly gleaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet rise over the land of the free and the home of the brave. Alyssa, come on up.
We love you, girl. Sorry.
Hello everyone, my name is Alyssa Babineau.
And my name is Carrie Mays. And we will be leading the puppy parade today. We are also a part of the Miss America organization. And I am representing Miss Whitman, and Alyssa is representing Miss Whitman's team. And we are so happy to be here with you today.
So what you just heard was the national anthem sung by our own Miss Whitman, and I'm sure a lot of people watching don't even know that Miss Whitman is a thing that exists. So Carrie, tell us a little bit about the organization.
Absolutely. So, hello. Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction. My name is Carrie Mays, and I am your Miss Whitman. I am a part of the Miss America organization, which is an amazing scholarship opportunity. It's not just a beauty pageant, but most of all, it's a scholarship opportunity where girls are able to not only win a crown, but a scholarship to advance their academic careers. Also, we will be competing in June. I will be competing in June for Miss Massachusetts, so I hope to take Whitman to the national stage and represent in Miss America, and Miss Whitman's teen, Alyssa, who is an amazing, phenomenal young woman. Our teen will also be competing next weekend to hopefully represent us on the Miss Massachusetts stage and take us to Miss America as well.
That's awesome. So how did you get involved with Miss Whitman to begin with?
So, funny story. I am the oldest of 7 siblings and 6 sisters. So, all of them are here right now having a ball at the festival. But one of my little sisters said, "You know who you remind me of?" And I said, "Who?" And she said, "Miss America." And so she dared me to dream and to hop into the pageant, and that's what I did because of my little sisters. They said that I reminded them, and I hopped in the pageant.
I'm sure that was a huge ego boost to begin with, just hearing that. So what other ways, aside from the pageant, aside from the competitions, what other ways does Miss Whitman work to get involved with the community, give back to the community? Tell me about that.
Absolutely. So one of the ways that we give back is by doing appearances, book readings, spending time with young people, especially if you are interested in the Whitman pageant. I would love to be a mentor to any of the young girls that are interested. Applications open January 2025 for any young women or girls that would love to be a part of the Miss America organization. It is an awesome opportunity. One of the ways that we give back is by being here, spreading the awareness around women empowerment and how amazing women are, inspiring young women and girls that they too are a queen and that they can wear a crown just like me.
That's absolutely amazing. Carrie, thank you for giving us all that information, and best of luck to you with the Miss Massachusetts.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I think of all the things, what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Well, since I've come on home, yeah, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over, stop making a fool out of me? Why don't you come on over, Valerie? Valerie, Valerie, Valerie. Did you have to go to jail? Put your house on up for sale? Did you get a good lawyer? Hope you didn't catch a 10. Hope you find the right man who'll fix it for you. Well, since I've come on home, yeah, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over, stop making a fool out of me? Why don't you come on over, Valerie?
We're here at the Dollars for Scholars tent. Now, graduation has just happened. They've given away all the money they collected earlier in the year. Michael, how did things go with the fund drives and everything for Dollars for Scholars?
We had a record-breaking year. We raised and awarded $186,000, 277 to 130 students. So it was just a wonderful year, both in terms of our fundraisers and in people making name donations.
Well, I know you must have gone over your goal because you broke the thermometer out in front of the town hall.
Yeah, I think we have to update the thermometer. It only goes so far, and we tend to exceed it every year. So we'll be updating that. We haven't set a goal for next year, but it's probably going to be about the same. And I think the important thing to remember is for all of the applicants that applied for scholarships with us, if they qualified and they finished their application, they all got a scholarship. So we try to allow so that every student that applies gets a scholarship, and that happened this year. So we're always proud about that.
Yeah, and it's good that there's somebody like you that's actually handling all that distribution, because the way other towns tend to do it, each group handles their own, and there can be a lot of confusion there.
Yeah, I think it's beneficial in that it's just one application for about 250 scholarships, and we also get to distribute it more evenly than if they were 250 different organizations. That way everyone gets a little bit, and some people get more, some people get less, but everyone is at least available to get one scholarship from us.
Okay, now you're going to be taking a little bit of time off to rest because you probably need it. When do you start your fundraising for next year?
So we probably start meeting the beginning of August just to set our calendar. We have set a few dates for some of our events, like our car event, the tree event in the park, the Taste of Whitman and Hanson. Those events we historically do the same time each year. So those are already set. We just have to start making plans for some of our smaller ones and to get a jump on some of the larger ones as well. And that usually starts at the beginning of August.
Okay. Now, any of those of you who will be looking for a scholarship next year, you want to do some volunteer work because that's part of what the process is. You've got to get a hold of Michael or somebody from Dollars for Scholars. Who's the best person to get a hold of for that?
It would be myself, and my email address. You can get it from your school counselor, or you'll see it posted around the school as well. Our first activities will begin in September, so we start right away. We have the primary that we do canning, and we have electronic recycling day at the beginning of September. So we try to get a jump on the school year very quickly as soon as you get to school.
I got an old cell phone I can drop off for you. I mean, the phone itself isn't worth anything, but the electronic components probably are.
Yes, we accept those as well as TVs and anything else.
Okay, well, thank you, Mike, and we're looking forward to another banner year next year.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to everybody out there.
Remember, Dollars for Scholars. You be there. We're here in Whitman Park with DPW Chairman of the Board of Commissioners, Kevin Cleary. And Kevin, the reason I wanted to talk to you today is because when you talk about DPW, most people think, oh, those are the guys that plow the roads in the winter and that's about all they do during the whole year. But we want to dispel that myth, and you're going to tell us all different kinds of things that the DPW does in Whitman.
Sure, I'd be happy to. Well, we have a few different departments. We have a water and sewer department, and they're maintaining your water sewer systems throughout the year. Daily water tests, going into the numerous sewer pump stations, monitoring those and making sure all those systems work for all the residents of the town. We have a park and tree division. Obviously, they take care of this beautiful park. They're in here on a daily basis, even in the wintertime.
Yeah, and the spring flowers people know because they get planted, and I would wonder how they think those get there.
Exactly. They do a lot in the park. You know, with the playground, we just did the mulch a few weeks ago and replaced that. We did the picnic tables and replaced those. I believe that was last year. But they're in this park every single day, whether it's January or June. We also have our highway department. Our highway department is around fixing up roadways. Some of the projects that I'm proud of what we've done ourselves on Winter Street a couple years ago, we installed sidewalk, and we did that with our crews. Just last year we did up on Washington Street. We did a section that we did the, our crews installed the sidewalks, and, they do a great job. They're a great group of guys, and they also save the town a lot of money by doing that, by not having contractors do it.
Because the state has mandated that every street should have sidewalks on both sides, haven't they? Or is that a federal thing?
I'm not sure if it's mandated or not. We have a lot of sidewalks in this town, especially for a smaller town, and especially on some of the side streets, and we do our best to upkeep them. We've been very generous that the town has supported us in that in the last couple of years, that we've got some additional funds to do that on street and roadway repair and sidewalk repair. And by having our crews do that, that just makes that dollar go a little further. We also have a maintenance staff, and we do the majority of our maintenance ourselves. Again, saving money instead of having to outsource it. There's some things that we have to do, but our fleet is in great shape. I think we just retired some trucks that were probably 30, 35 years old. So we get our money's worth, and we take care of them ourselves with our own maintenance staff.
Yeah, we have an example of it right behind us here with this little beauty. This is probably a real workhorse that's constantly busy.
Yes, I mean, our trucks are always out on the road. The guys are always out. You see them around town. Like I said, whether it's the plowing snow, street sweeping, in the center, keeping that looking nice, in the parks, in the fields. They're out and about all day long.
Yeah. And June O'Leary is one of Bruce's biggest fans.
Absolutely. Actually, we just replaced the pump on the fountain. We drained the entire pond, and helped with the Friends of the Park and maybe Recreation Commission. I think they all chipped in, and they were able to buy the materials, and the DPW installed them. So we put a brand new pump on the fountain. That's brand new, and we cleaned the entire pond out, and which needs to be done every few years. We just did that this past spring.
Well, one of the first things I found out about major projects in here was when June was telling me about all they went through back when they first dug the pond.
That was probably before my time. I don't remember that, but I know June is a very important part of this park, and does a lot for it, and we certainly appreciate that. And the DPW, works with them to, they've planted trees. We've done walkways, and have done a lot in the park over the last years.
Now, we want to switch gears here a little bit, because you guys are finally, after a long period of time, going to have a new building. What does that mean to you?
That means everything. I've been on the board since 2008, and that's about when we started trying to get a new building, and we had a feasibility study of the old building. So it was great that in last year's election and town meeting that the residents supported us. We've started the project. We're very excited. The old building got ripped down a few weeks ago, and I was never happier to see something come down than that. But we're very excited about the new building. Very excited of giving our workers what they deserve: a clean, safe facility that we'll be able to use for years.
Okay, so now you've got rid of the old building. The next step would be to clear the ground around it and build a new foundation?
Yeah, so they've been working on some of the site work, some of the new utility work. Probably within the next couple months you'll start seeing the structure of the new building going up, and then we'll start enclosing it and work on the inside. And then once we occupy the new building, the front green building, as we call it, will be demolished, and that will just become parking.
Okay, now what's the time frame on all of this? Do you have any idea?
So we started, kind of just outside the winter once we got in some good weather. Right now it's probably the summer of 25. So probably July or August of next year that we should be able to cut the ribbon on the new building.
Okay, well that's a long-awaited project. And that plus the middle school and all kinds of other things coming on. This town is actually kind of upgrading all over a bit.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? It goes to the residents supporting their infrastructure, supporting their buildings, supporting their facilities. And you need to do that. We waited a long time to get our building. It was well overdue, but thanks to the support of the residents, we'll have our new facility.
Okay, is there any other news from the DPW that you might want to share?
I don't think so. I think I let the guys speak for what they do and what the crews do and what people see around town. We do the best we can with, the available monies that we have. And I'd love to fix every sidewalk, every street, every pothole, but we do our best with what we have. And I think the guys do a great job.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Kevin. It's been good talking to you.
All right, thank you.
All right, so I'm joined by Brian Rowe from the high school music department. And Brian, this is your first Whitman Day, correct?
This is it right here, and I'm so happy to be a part of the team and be a part of this gorgeous day.
Have you ever been a part of an event so massive, so influential as Whitman Day? Have you ever been a part of such a thing?
You know what? I've only been a part of lesser festivals, and now I feel like I've come to this is the top of the mountain here. So it's really great to be here.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what you're bringing to the table on Whitman Day today.
So today we're here just giving a little bit of information about our music program and about all of the courses that you can interact with. We're also trying to get a lot of our community members and a lot of our parents to sign up for some of our monthly music newsletters and some other information, so that way if they have a child or if they have someone who would like to support the arts and music at Whitman-Hanson, they can jump right in the easiest way possible.
Tell me about the variety of classes that you guys offer in the music department, because I understand there's a lot that you guys offer.
Yeah, we have a lot, and especially since myself and my colleague Greg Daigle started, we've tried to really expand a lot of our opportunities. So we have some of the more traditional classes. We have concert band and concert choir, and then we also have a lot of things that are more modern-facing, things like music technology, pop rock, introduction to guitar, as well as a couple of newer classes that we're offering next year. We have a history of American modern music. We also have an introductory piano course that students can interact with. So lots of things and lots of ways for students to be able to interact.
And I can say firsthand, some of my favorite classes when I was going to the high school were the music classes. I remember taking music tech and like pop rock with Don Legg, and that was an absolutely amazing experience. So I'm really glad to see that you guys are kind of carrying the torch in that way. So how can people stay in the know and get more involved with the music department? What are some of the avenues that people can go down to make sure that they stay up to date with the stuff that you guys are doing?
Well, if you go to whrsd.org and you look under the music page, you should see a little link to our music department website. You can also follow me on Twitter at BandBro, where I post a lot of music department happenings. I post a lot of pictures and just general knowledge tips. We've also got a couple of great QR codes, which we'll give you a picture of after this, where if you scan that QR code, you can go to our music department link tree, and that has all of those links in a really easy spot to get to.
And that's BandBro as in B-R-O or spelt like your name?
Yeah, like band, B-A-N-D, and then B-R-O-W-E. Band.
Gotcha. Just checking on that. But anyway, Brian, thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. And yeah, if you can get involved with Whitman-Hanson Music Department, do it. Whoa. No.
I have seen some of them.
Twist and shout, come on, come on, come on, baby now. Come on, baby, come on and work it on out. Work it on out, well, work it on out. Work it on out, you know you look so good. Look so good, you know you got me going now. Got me going like I knew that you would. Like I knew you would. Shake it up, baby now. Shake it up, baby. Twist and shout. Twist and shout, come on, come on, come on, baby now. Come on, baby, come on and work it on out. Work it on out. Well, you twisted little girl, twist little girl. You know you twist so fine, twist so fine. Come on and twist a little closer now. Twist a little closer, let me know that you're mine. Oh, you're mine. Baby, twist and shout, twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, baby now. Come on, baby, come on and work it on out. Work it on out, well, work it on out. Work it on out. You know you look so good, look so good. You know you got me going now, got me going like I knew that you would. I knew you would. Well, shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Shake it up, baby. Well, shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Shake it up, baby. Well, shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. Shake it up, baby.
Right now, we're standing in front of the CERT truck with Kathy Costello, and she's going to tell us what CERT is. It does mean something, and it's something that's pretty important, isn't it?
It is. It is. So CERT stands for Citizen Emergency Response Team. We are available for the fire department on large incidents, a lot of fires, different situations where we come out and we actually rehab for our fire departments. During home fire, structure fires, the fire department needs a little, they'll come out and respite after a few. We provide them with, some snacks with fluids, coffee, stuff that gives them when they come out for about 30 to 45 minutes. They can sit down and kind of take that breather and respond.
Well, the breather isn't the only important thing. I mean, in fighting a fire, you really want to be able to have that water when you need it too.
Absolutely. And the weather conditions are really important. So we might have freezing temperatures, and the gear that our firefighters wear are heavy. And in the summertime, they're extremely warm. So our vehicle carries all the equipment that they need, whether it be that they might need a fan with a little mist on it on a really hot day. And also, they could be extremely warm even in the cold weathers, secondary to the gear and to the incident that they're handling and whatever they got going on, and how much work they're putting into it. You know.
Yeah, and it wouldn't help to have a misting fan going on in the winter.
Well, we would use it mostly in the summer, but we could put it up if we needed to.
Well, be like an icicle bath.
Well, yeah, if you've seen them, you've seen the news, you've seen them come out with the little icicles all over their equipment. You know, so.
Okay, now the reason you're here is because you're looking to have some more volunteers come along and help you on some of these things.
Yes, so we are expanding. We are looking for more volunteers. Right now we have a lot of great people that work with us, where our whole goal is to cover all the hours of the day. We're looking for volunteers. It's a great thing. They can contact the Whitman Fire Department for an application, and we would love to have them come on board. We may be expanding to a second vehicle at some point, so we want to be able to show that we can man both vehicles at any time during the day.
And I was saying to couple people earlier that everybody probably knows somebody who is a CERT member, but they don't know that. So it's one of those things that's kind of like a best kept secret type of thing.
It is kind of funny. It is kind of kept quiet for some reason. We don't know why. We're always out there. We work a lot with Whitman Hanson. We do the other towns, Abington, Rockland. We're everywhere when we're needed. As long as the unit is available, we rock and roll and we go to help these guys and support them. I think that I'm one of the very first original members on the very first program, and I'm still here. So we're close to 20 years doing this, and it's kind of quiet because I still have people come up to me and go, "What's CERT?"
Well, I worked with Marie Layler on several historical projects around town, and it was at least a year before I found out she was on CERT.
Yep. We were, we're kind of quiet though, But when you see the foot truck, this is what we do.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Kathy.
You are very welcome.
And good luck with your campaign to bring in some more volunteers.
Yep, you can give us a shout. We would love to have more volunteers. We've grabbed a few today, which we're excited to bring on as members. I will be running a class very, very shortly in the upcoming weeks, so it'd be really great. We have more members.
What's the best way to contact somebody to find out more?
So if they would like to apply, they can contact the non-emergent number at the fire department and speak with the administrator, and she will get that application to them. Otherwise, they can contact me through whitmancert@gmail.com and send me a quick email, and I will shoot them an application also and give them a phone call, and we can touch base and get them rocking and rolling to be part of our team.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
We just caught up with Chief Clancy. Chief, I just did an interview with Kathy about CERT. Now I just want to get your take on CERT.
CERT is a great activity for people to get involved in the community. One of the avenues that I've been focusing on is some younger people that might have interest to get into emergency services. If they would like to join the CERT team, they can reach out to us. You have to be 18 years old, join the CERT team, and get a little bit of taste of the emergency services, whether it's through the fire rehab, sheltering program. When we have a big event, we utilize them in the Emergency Operations Center as well. I think it's a great way for people to test out their interest in it, and a lot of people on the CERT team just want to give back to the community and help their fellow neighbors, and it's a great program. I find it of great value in a time of need.
Okay. Well, thanks, Chief. We just wanted to get your take on that too. It'll be a great emphasis for what Kathy has already told us.
No problem, anytime.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Chief.
Okay, Paul. I'll talk to you soon.
Now here's something you don't see every day. I'm here with my friend Joe from Four Leaf Forge.
Four Leaf Forge, yep, that's us. Four Leaf Forge Commissions. So.
And we got a blacksmith demonstration going on. So Joe, tell me, what got you into blacksmithing? It's such like an interesting hobby to have.
So I actually have knife makers in my family. Journeyman smith for the American Bladesmiths Association, Scott Hurst. I apprenticed with him for 2 years to do knives when I was 10 years old to 12 years old. And after that, I just started seeing cool stuff popping up on YouTube, things people were making, and it's cheaper to make things than it is to buy things. So that's kind of what got me started, and I moved on from there. I've moved on from knives. I've done wedding rings, sculptures, some metal graffiti in a couple of different places, like at my Sword in the Stone over there. But yeah, a little bit of everything.
I was going to actually ask about the Sword in the Stone. Like, do you tend to take inspiration from more like fantasy things? Or
Fantasy is what got me into it. A lot of Lord of the Rings growing up, a lot of high fantasy. A lot of my art actually over here is heavily fantasy inspired. This is actually a D&D weapon from my first Dungeons and Dragons character. So I would say, yeah, fantasy definitely has a lot going into my art, and I like to mix it with more traditional blacksmithing techniques. So kind of try and keep the art alive, because if people my age don't do this, I'm worried this art form is going to start dying out. So just out here selling a couple things, but more just trying to spread awareness that this is something that people can still do.
And that is absolutely awesome. And you got quite the setup here. Do you want to tell me a little bit about the setup for how you put this stuff together?
Sure. This is my travel setup. So not my large forge at home. I've got a small furnace. It's running about 1600 degrees Fahrenheit right now. This is an English Peter Wright anvil from 1812. It's actually been in Massachusetts for the last 200 years. Plus, and then a couple of sorted hammers and dies for different things. I'm actually going to take this out real quick. I got to do a quick adjustment. Alrighty.
We're about to watch this man in his elements.
It'd be really embarrassing if I dropped this on camera. Fun thing about metal, when it gets this hot, you can pretty much just bend it with your bare hands. Leaf.
So is this part of like a greater project, or is it just one of like a small kind of one-off?
This is a little one-off. I've done these for trees before. I'm actually working on a project right now that's going to be a tree with individual hanging leaves all over it. But yeah, this is just a one-off, doing small little motifs today just to give people an idea of what's going on. You see a project go start to finish. So.
That's amazing, man. So, again, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. I'm so glad to have seen you after so long.
Yeah, it's been a while.
As you know, June is LGBTQ plus Pride Month, and who better to talk to about that in Whitman than Chris Dioro from Whitman Pride. So Chris, tell us a little bit about what you're offering today.
Well, Whitman Pride is here at the third annual Whitman Day. This is our third Whitman Day. And we've got a lot of Whitman Pride merch that is designated. All of the proceeds are designated to benefit the Whitman Pride Scholarship and Education Fund. We gave out our first scholarship to a graduating senior this year. So that's great, $500 scholarship. We want to grow the scholarship fund so that we can do more and do more with the libraries here in the town as far as getting some diversification and inclusive literature back into the libraries and help kids out to teach them young how to include and not exclude.
Absolutely. What was the driving force behind creating the group in the first place?
I'm as an attorney. I had done the legal work to set up at least 7 or 8 different Pride organizations on the South Shore, getting them incorporated, getting them started, doing all the legal work, getting them going. And I looked around a couple of years after starting as that and realized I live here in Whitman. We don't have one, and Whitman is a place that sorely needs representation like this. So I started Whitman Pride a few years ago, and like I said, we've been going ever since. And it's a great way to show folks that they are seen, that they are accepted, that they are loved here in the community, and that they don't need to be afraid to be who they are, whether they're out or not.
That is absolutely fantastic. Are there any sort of other community-based projects that you guys have been able to be a part of?
We were very happy over the past couple of years. We were able to petition the school committee and the Board of Selectmen to add some Pride crosswalks at both the high school and the middle school. Both of those have, we had volunteers come out after we got approval from the school committee. Great day, 20, 30 people out there with paint rollers rolling down crosswalks. Last year through the sidewalk committee that helped get that started, we were also able to petition the selectmen here to raise the Pride flag during the month of June. And it was a bit of a struggle. It was by no means a unanimous decision. But once we got it last year, I thought I was going to have to go back and ask for it this year. And I drove by Town Hall earlier last week, and the flag was up without even asking. So if you want to talk about progress, that's progress. The flag went up, no ifs, ands, or buts, which is great.
That's awesome. It's just really great to see such like a big pillar of the community being recognized, being seen, and that's such an important thing for just like mental health and just a sense of community and a sense of belonging.
When you look at the statistics, suicide is the #2 cause of death for people from the age 13 to 25. However, among the LGBTQ community, that is 4 times the number. At any given time, 45% of people who are age 13 to 26, who are represented, who are part of the LGBTQ community, at some point think about committing suicide, and 1 every 30 seconds does. It can't keep happening. We have to recognize these people. They feel unseen. They feel unloved. They feel, 500 separate pieces of legislation last year in the United States, more this year, specifically attacking LGBTQ people and the trans community. They continue to be attacked, and it's groups like ours and all over the country and all over Massachusetts that are there to help folks know that they are, in fact, represented, that they are seen, and that there's somewhere that they can go to feel accepted and feel special.
And if people want to get involved with Whitman Pride, how would they go about doing that?
We are on Facebook and all social media. You can look for us on Facebook at Whitman Pride. You can look for us on Instagram at Whitman Pride. At Whitman Pride, is going to take you to us. It used to take you somewhere else, but now it takes you directly to us because we chased that organization away that used to bear that name, and we now took it over.
Well, it's good to know. Chris, thank you for taking the time to talk to us, and really thank you for the work that you do for the community.
Thank you so much. It's my pride to do it.
as I was walking through the park one day, I happened by the South Shore Tech tent and found the superintendent, thank you.
There we go.
Superintendent Director, Dr. Tom Hickey, over here, talking about the school that South Shore Tech is trying to build. And I wanted to talk to you because you did such a great presentation at the Selectmen's meeting last Tuesday night. And although we don't have time to go into the detail that you did at that meeting, I wanted to get some of that information out to the people so that they could understand about the financing, because that's been all anybody's talked about as far as the school goes, is the financing issues.
Well, it all comes down to money, as it should. Everything is expensive, and people do see value in a lot of capital construction, but I appreciate you wanting to talk about it. Yeah, I was at the Select Board on June 4th, and so that's definitely where people can get a more detailed version. And the Express also did an article on the meeting. But the sign, the poster we have behind us is a layout of our proposed new school, which would open in 2028. But before we get there, we're thrilled to be able to come to events like Whitman Day to be able to explain what we're trying to do, why we're doing it, and what the process is. We know that we have a long waiting list. We know folks want their kids to be educated in the trades, and we're the second oldest vocational school in Massachusetts. So in order to have the state pay for a chunk of this project, we have a lengthy process we have to go through. But right now we're in what's called the schematic design phase, and so we're laying out a design for the school through the end of the summer. And we're going to go back to the School Building Authority for their approval. But then we'll be in front of the voters on January 25th, 2025. There'll be a ballot question asking, do you support the school project? And all of the voters in all 9 towns on the same day will vote as if they were the equivalent of one community. If it passes at that ballot question, then we have an approved project. But the next logical question is, how will each community pay for their share? And so when I went to the Selectmen's meeting, I talked about how we would want to make an adjustment to our regional agreement so that debt share is based on enrollment. So I'll keep it simple. It's basically, it would adjust with enrollment. So we'll be talking about this project, the new school and the layout, a lot. But we're also going to be talking about what we think it's going to cost each community and how changing our regional agreement will make things more equitable. And I think there's widespread support for doing that.
And not to mention the fact that you have at least one new town coming in to the
district.
To the district. Thank you.
Yeah.
Senior moment.
Just fill in the blanks.
Yeah. Well,
we're finishing each other's sentences. Yeah.
I've got a lot of blanks up here.
Yeah, Marshfield starts on July 1st. They're a very big community with very strong interest. They knew a good opportunity. We saw it as an opportunity for our district to say, hey, we're on the verge of a big capital project. Bringing on another community means they can help share the costs. I said to the selectmen that I would expect Marshfield to be close to 15 to 16% of the district in 3 or 4 years. That means that there are seats for that community and their children to educate, but there's also a way for our 8 communities to cost share as well. So I think it's good timing. Now it's going to take several years for us to get this project online, but Marshfield being a part of it, I think, is a very positive thing.
Now you were also talking about the first year Marshfield is in, there'll be just the freshmen coming in. Is there any possibility of any upperclassmen maybe transferring in from another school or anything like that?
That is always an option. In fact, we enroll upperclassmen every year, not in large numbers, but basically what it comes down to is, do you have a child in grade 10 or above who is interested? Yes. And we'll tell them, here are the shops where we have some space. And if it's a match, they come in, and if they spend 3 years with us, they leave with a set of skills that gives them great advantages. So it's not just about rising 9th graders. And so when we also talk about the potential for expanding the district further, perhaps to include other communities in our area, that's a possibility. But for right now, I think in the short term, we've brought in a 9th community. Let's come together, explain why we need to take this school the next 50 years in another with this, what I think is the best value building. We looked at renovating the building. It's very difficult to renovate a school when it's fully occupied. We can't put our shop kids in a modular classroom. You can't do that with carpentry shops. You can't do that with welding shops. And so we saw this as a way of saying we can address the waiting list we have and we can replace the second oldest vocational school with something that should last 50 years or more. So that's what we're trying to explain to voters between now and January. So we got our work cut out for us. We're looking forward to it.
And you really can't do anything with the automotive shop in a modular building either.
Yes, I mean, I think it seems like an obvious reason, but when you renovate a building, you're still leaving elements of the 1962-ness of the building behind. And we don't want to go back to, we got through the pandemic with doing a lot of in-person learning. We kept our online learning in the academic areas. We could never do that for any length of time. I don't know how we risk renovating a building in the summers only. It would take 5 years, and so the expense, there would be a significant expense. And what we would have is we'd have a building where there would be no new veterinary science program, which we're proposing. There would be no new plumbing program, which we're proposing. And we would probably need to actually cut down on the number of students. The next homework assignment for us is to show folks that if we don't replace the building, what the potential cost of renovating the school would be. And it's not like the school's going to cave in if this project doesn't pass. I'm willing to be objective and say, no, that won't happen. But it's very likely we would still have to go back to the same groups of voters over several years saying, we need to replace a roof. I don't have a sprinkler system. Two-thirds of our building isn't sprinkled. So we would have to explain to the voters there's a slightly more expensive option that's brand new, 900 students, or there's a renovated version which might take several years with cost escalation. But we're going to explain that in great detail. We try to be transparent. Our school project website is southshoretechproject.com, where we upload all the latest documents for people who would like to get in the weeds on it. But for now, this picture here is basically Route 123 Webster Street, and our new school would be on our athletic fields, which are currently in the back of the property, and we would put our athletic fields in the front. So the school would remain occupied while we're able to build the new one. There'd be no break in continuity with instruction. But we got to get past these pictures first. That's what the next 6 months is all about.
That's the way most school buildings are going on now, is they're staying in the old building and building the new one on another parcel of land that's adjacent to the old one. And then, like the football field's the obvious choice.
Absolutely.
Building the new football field where the old school used to be.
That's right. So the building would be occupied in the 28-29 school year, and then with that occupied, we would spend that whole school year putting in these fields. So we'd be hopefully completed by the end of the 28-29 school year, fields included. We're looking forward to talking about it with communities. I appreciate you giving us the time to explain it. It's complicated stuff.
Just, you get any little hints as to who some of the other towns that might be interested are, between us?
Oh, sure. Just between us. Yeah, I mean, the town of Pembroke has expressed, there have been residents in Pembroke who have expressed a serious interest. But like with all of our communities, no one of our communities could deliver 14 vocational majors. We're all too small, but if we band together and regionalize, that formula has made sense for decades. Pembroke doesn't have access to vocational education anywhere right now. But like a lot of our communities, there are competing capital projects, there's timing. So my answer is Pembroke would be the next community that, in my opinion, would take the next step. Beyond that, the other communities in our region that are not part of our regional voc district are Duxbury, Hingham, and Hull. But for now, if I were to put a dollar down on which community might be the next one, it would be Pembroke. But that, of course, depends on the size of the school we have, and that would be for our school board to evaluate. We know vocational education is popular right now. It's been popular for a while. I would hazard to say it's been popular for a long time, but we're seeing people saying that our kids can go to college, our kids can still get marketable trade skills on day one after they graduate. The numbers speak for themselves. We get great support from our communities, and for the person who has to bring annual budgets, people see the value in this. This is a big ask. With the school built in 1962, we've really tried to push the value of the building past its useful life. But with the state ponying up over $100 million of grant money, we think the time is right. It's never perfect. You can't imagine how in 9 towns there's going to be a perfect time. But we've waited 7 years for the state to invite us in, so we're going to do our best to make the case to the voters.
Okay, now, just so that everybody understands, Whitman residents can watch the June 4th, I almost had the wrong date there, the June 4th Selectmen's meeting on Channel 8. Those of you who are not in Whitman can go to WHCA 9TV/Whitman Selectmen and go through the playlist there to find the June 4th Selectmen's meeting and watch the presentation. There are graphics, there's a great PowerPoint, a lot of good questions are asked there. That's the way to find out about what's actually happening here. Thank you so much, Dr.
Always
Hickey.
a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Onward and upward.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Thank you. That was the weather forecast for today.
So we're here with Keller Williams, and I'm joined by Lauren, and they are one of the many vendors that are here on Whitman Day. So Lauren, tell me a little bit about Keller Williams.
It is a real estate company. We're located in Easton, Massachusetts, but I'm actually a lifelong Whitman resident, so that's why we're here today. And just here answering questions about real estate needs for sellers and buyers. So yeah, hopefully we can help some local residents.
So tell me what a few of the main things you might be wanting to go over with people about purchasing real estate, buying a home. Tell me about it.
Yeah, so I feel like the most common questions we get are in terms of interest rates and home prices and kind of the market of the moment that we're in right now. So just kind of diving in, because each situation's individualized based on the person, their home, their finances. So just kind of answering it based on what their needs are.
Can I get a little bit of a insider on what the market's looking like right now? Because, a lot of people are looking to buy homes.
Yeah, it is a hot seller's market. There's still multiple offers situations. A lot of homes are going above list price, so it's a great time to sell for sure. So
that's always good to hear. Lauren, thank you for coming to Whitman Day. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
With me right now, we have a candidate for the Governor's Council, Tamisha Civil. Tell me, Tamisha, where are you from?
I live in Stoughton, and I am a town meeting rep member, and I'm, like you stated, I am a candidate for Governor's Council District 2, and it is a pleasure to be here and to meet everyone here on Whitman Day.
Okay, now what was it that made you decide you wanted to run for the Governor's Council?
Okay, well, great question. I'm an associate probation officer out of the Mass Trial Court, and I've had more than 10 years of working in the state court. I'm a legal advocate for a domestic violence shelter, and I've also worked for the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office as a victim witness advocate in the Major Felony Bureau. And I have a master's degree from Northeastern University for criminal justice and leadership. So working with judges every single day, I see their temperament. I see how they listen to cases. With my diverse background in the criminal justice system, it is important for me to run for governor's council to make sure that we have good judges. We have them now, but we can do much better as far as continuing getting judges on the bench that, one, will understand what substance abuse is all about. It's a disease that people are combating. Incarceration should not be the #1 choice for someone combating with substance abuse, and I would like to see people to get into treatment and programs so that we can give them the opportunity to have a better life and to be able to re-enter into the community to be a good citizen within the community that they serve or with their families.
Okay, now you've got one issue that the Governor's Council deals with, which is recommending potential candidates to the governor. What other issues does the Governor's Council deal with?
They do commutations, pardons, and they also elect people onto the parole board. So, but essentially the Governor Council elects judges to sit on the bench. It could be throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, and we need someone who's going to make sure we ask hard questions when people come before the council to become judges, because we need to understand that it's a people's court and that we need to be able to understand the cries of the community, and that when they're entering on a court, they feel like justice is being served.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
and good luck to you. And remember, get out and vote in November, right?
The primary is September 3rd, so I would ask anyone who would like more information about Tamisha Civil, which is me, visit www.tamishacivil.com. Ask me any questions. I'll be able to respond. But most importantly, get out. It starts on a local level. September 3rd is the Democratic primary, and I would urge everyone to vote September 3rd for Tamisha Civil.
I'm glad you said that, because I forgot all about that part.
It's okay.
Another senior moment here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's right. September 3rd, the primary. You got to vote there before you can find out if she makes the ballot.
For November.
For November.
Yes.
I could use a cue card. How are you writing cue cards?
I like to speak from the heart, so I don't use them.
I just need them so I can remember what was in my head when I started the process for putting this interview together.
I'll give you a pass. How about that?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for interviewing me.
Blew up my flip-flops, stepped on a pop top. I kicked my heel, had to cruise on back home. But there's booze in the blender, soon it will render. That frozen concoction that helps me hang on. Hang on, hang on. Wasted away again, Margaritaville. Searching for my lost sugar salt. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault. Some people claim that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault.
Well, we're here now with Dan Salvucci, longtime resident of Whitman.
Yeah.
And you're here with your wife and your grandchildren today?
Yes, I am. She's around somewhere, and I haven't found her yet. I just want to come down and talk about to the fire, the fire department.
She's the one that wanders away, not you, right?
Right. She's the one that likes with the grandchildren, and I say, okay, have a good time.
Okay. Now, you come down here. You come to everything that goes on in Whitman, and this is what, third or fourth Whitman Day? I've lost track of now which one it is. But how do you like the way things have been set up this year for Whitman Day?
It's a lot different. We have a lot more people contributing as far as tents and showing what they do. We have a beer, right? The beer tent, the beer garden, which is new.
Yep.
Something different. And of course, I don't drink. I have my Canada Dry drink, my ginger ale. But anyways, it's just tripled in size. And between the Recreation and Cultural Council, they do an outstanding job.
Yeah. What have you seen today that's caught your attention?
I guess the search team, because my son was on the first search team, graduating on the search team, and now he's a firefighter paramedic. So.
Yeah, I'll bet there were a lot of people that actually know somebody who's been on CERT but didn't know that they were.
Right, exactly. They do a great job, and they contribute to the needs of the town, so which is good.
And people have heard of Marie Layler, who was Historical Commission. She was on this committee and that committee and all kinds of other things, but she was also a CERT volunteer. She and Ken.
Yes, she was. And I'm just waiting someday we'll be able to have an empty building in town where we can make a museum. Yeah. My wife and I, when we go on vacation, she always looks for where there's a museum, and we always go there just to see about where we are. And Whitman has so much history, why wouldn't we have a museum?
Exactly. Is there any other tent that you're planning on going to visit just to see what's happening there?
I mean, today?
Yeah.
Every tent.
Every tent.
I stop from one end and I just go all the way around and hit them all.
Yeah. I hope you brought a stool with you so you could sit down and rest your feet every now and then.
Actually, I just did. My wife got me a ginger ale, and the grandchild got an ice cream. She had her water, and we sat there for a while. She says, well, I'm going to start at that end. I says, well, I'm going to start at the other end. I'll meet you in the middle.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Dan. That's Dan Salvucci, resident of Whitman, man about town. And we weren't going to mention the fact that he's also on the Board of Selectmen and the school committee. Actually, it's the regional school committee for the vocational school. Yeah. And we weren't going to mention that, but it's too late. I've already done it.
There
so
you go.
Your identity has been established.
Yeah, okay.
Superman can no longer hide.
There you go.
Okay, thanks a lot, Dan. It's been good talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Well, that's about all we have from Whitman Day 2024. We talked to so many people today. We saw so many things. You've got to come down here if you've never been here. This is just an event that has to be seen to be believed. And I just want to say, look next year, because Whitman Day 2025 will be coming. So for Rob Gullickson and me, Paul Watson, we just want to say farewell from Whitman Town Park and have a good year until next year when we'll see you here again.